What's good, y'all? SkyMav in the building. Today, we're talking about more NBA preseason. 2021-2022 season. It's been a while since we saw a full 82-game season, and now we're ready for it. And our preseasons are normally boring. All right, nobody really likes to watch preseason. It just kind of seems like we're watching a whole bunch of things that don't really matter, and that's always the case. But we got to see some good basketball this preseason, at least some good basketball on the offensive side, and that's really what we're going to be talking about when we talk about these awards that I'm giving out. I'm doing it in tier list form because I'm lazy. I don't want to do it any other way, and also this can provide a little bit of suspense for the viewers if I do it this way, because some of these players, I know I have a lot of players on there, some of them are not going to make it on some tiers. It is what it is, and I should have an honorable mention category, but I'll just talk about those guys if they don't make it. Because a couple of these guys aren't going to make it onto the list. But we're getting ready to get started, and we're going to start at the very bottom with the all defensive tier. Now, players that are playing defense, that were locking down, that were out there, chugging along on defense in this preseason, and I got nobody. I ain't got nobody. Some players, you guys are going to get mad at me. Some players were out there. Hey, SkyMav, they was out there locking down. I seen Kent Bazemore locking down. I seen Davion Mitchell locking down. I get it, but the overall collective of defense in the preseason was absolutely terrible. It was so bad. No teams had their defensive schemes ready. A couple of teams were decent, but no, we're not talking about all defensive teams. In fact, bro, just delete that whole tier. We getting rid of that. So we're gonna start with the rookies. All rookie preseason. First one I'm gonna talk about here. This is in no particular order. We'll talk a little bit about Bones Hyland. In fact, I'm not going to talk too much about these players, because if you want me to look at the in-depth my review of these players, you can go back and watch my other video when I reviewed what was surprising me in the middle of the preseason. Right now, since preseason is over, you guys know what these guys are about. We all know Bones can score. Bones can do a little bit of everything. He's a decent rebounder. He's tall. He's lengthy, but he's a guard that's just always in the right place at the right time, really aggressive, and that's really, I think Denver's really high on him, and he's definitely had a good preseason showing. Another guy that was great in the preseason as a rookie was James Bouknight from Charlotte. Showed the ability to get into the painted area, speed, quickness, aggressiveness. Again, that's what I'm seeing from a lot of these rookies. They're coming out saying, hey, one-on-one, y'all can't stop me. I'm going to score. I don't care if I'm 19. I don't care if I'm 20. I don't care if I'm fresh out of college, breath still smelling like Similac. I'm going to put the ball in the hole. And another guy who did that well is Chris Duarte from Indiana. Didn't watch a lot of Pacer games during the preseason. They're in this weird state where I don't even know what Indiana is going to do. But Chris Duarte was a very good pick, because he's playing and performing well, at least up to their standards to this point of the season. All these rookies have room to improve, but you want to see them perform well against other pros, and that's why preseason matters a lot more than summer league matters. Davion Mitchell, just saw him play when I watched the Lakers-Kings game, so I did see a full game of him. I do watch majority of the game. I watched majority of the games in the preseason. I want to say more than half. So I got some input on a lot of these players. And Mitchell is very good defensively. He's actually my favorite player coming out of this draft, personally. Just love how he gets after it. Offense is going to be the part of his game that's going to be the slow, or the late blooming side of his game. But he's still got moves. He's got the handle. He's got the ability to finish. He works really hard in his game. So eventually the offense is going to come around, because the defense is already next level. And my last rookie for the all rookie team is Isaiah Joe. One of the few, the couple of dudes I'm going to have on this list that not only shot 60% from the field in preseason, shot around 60% from three in the preseason as a rookie, and giving you, I think, 17 points a game. So he's scoring the ball and shooting at a high clip. So that is impressive. Isaiah Joe, props to all these rookies. Want to see, Jalen Green, I know everybody's looking for Jalen Green, did not have a good preseason for my standards. Did not shoot the ball well, and a lot of this has to do with, first of all, as we start to move up on the list, a lot of this is going to be not only games played. If you played 1-2 games of preseason, you're not going to be on this list. If you were shooting the ball like poop, 40% from the field, 20% from, you're not going to make that my list. All right, I'm looking for players who are efficient and the limited playing time that they got in preseason. All right, so when we go on to the second team, we're gonna start with Ja. Ja was amazing. I know you could easily put him in the first team, and you could do that with pretty much anybody. The first team, second team, I'm gonna put these guys. I mean, the order is not going to be shown on here, but you guys could kind of figure out your own order. And if you look at the difference, no, there's not a big gap between any of these guys. All the preseasons on this preseason performances on the second team and first team are going to be really close together. And Ja Morant was great. He showed up explosive. He was making floaters, pull-up jumpers, hitting a couple threes, and shot 60% from the field as a point guard in the preseason. Ja Morant was fantastic. Another guy on the second team is the slithery one right here, Kevin Durant. Just the efficiency. 50% from the field, but 50% from three. He shot 45% from three last season. And I mean, KD, I mean, just like all these other stars that we're seeing in this generation, they're just getting better with age. They're getting better with age. I think LeBron has done a good job leading that regime. And KD is following suit. The Brooklyn Nets, with or without Kyrie Irving, are going to be a threat. Another guy in second team, OG Anunoby. Now, you guys probably didn't watch a lot of OG Anunoby this preseason. There was a lot of guys in that Raptors camp. A lot of guys vying for playing position or playing time and all that stuff. But OG showed up and he was balling. All right, OG Anunoby shot 52% from the field and 54% from three. Incredible. I mean, that's obviously a small sample size, but I'm looking for efficiency. And if you're efficient in preseason, hopefully you can translate that into the regular season. If he's efficient shooting the ball, OG's got everything else. He's athletic, he can rebound, he can defend. And if you shoot the ball like he did in preseason, Raptors, I mean, they're going to have a nice young core coming into next year. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Came in late to the preseason, missed the first two games, played the last three, and balled out. Shot 66% from three. Giannis, I don't exactly know how many attempts. He was probably 2 for 3 or something like that, but he made them. He made his threes. His jump shot looks smooth. I know there's videos going all over Twitter of Giannis' jump shot. Looks the same to me. But if he can make them, if his percentages starts to jump up, then I mean he's just going to be even more scary. All respect to Giannis, the Finals MVP, and he's still on top of the league right now. Somebody else has to knock him down before anybody could talk anything bad about him, because he's still the man right now. He's still got the chip. He's got the Finals MVP. He can talk his stuff if he wants to. And the last on this second team may be pretty controversial, but I'm giving it to him because I watched this last performance by LeBron that he had against Sacramento, and I've been watching LeBron for a long time. He doesn't normally care during preseason, so the fact that he gave the Kings 36 and 6 and was hitting everything, I mean threes, mid-range, catch and shoot mid-range, pull-up jumpers, fadeaways, drive into the rim, changing hands in midair. It was just like, okay, just reminding everybody that, okay, 19th season, I'm still LeBron. And I just, me being a little biased, maybe that's why I'm putting him here. But, I mean, he was decent in the preseason. I mean, I averaged, I think, 16. LeBron averaged 19, 5, and 4 in the preseason, which was decent. Looked for his teammates. He was pretty efficient at the rim, and shot wasn't always there. But again, that game against Sacramento really proved that, hey, he's going to be in the MVP running this season again. A lot of people want him to not be in there, but he keeps on coming. I like to see it. Okay, now we get into the first team. So there's some guys left out, some guys you probably thought were going to be on first team, on second team. We're going to talk about the number 1 top 5 players this preseason, in no particular order. And we're going to start with this man right here, Stephen Curry. Played 4 or 5 games in the preseason. I think 4, which is a high mark. Yeah, I think there's only 2 players here that played 5 and we haven't seen them yet. Shot 24 points a game in the preseason. He was incredible against my hometown team. Gave Portland 41 last night. He's just looking sharp. He always does. I mean, everything is just so easy for him. So he can put up 40 in preseason and not even have to expend that much effort. And what I really appreciate about Steph is how much he scored. I think he was the leading scorer in preseason and wasn't even like top 10 in minutes played during preseason. So he just was, Steph is. He's just incredibly efficient. Another guy we're going to put on this list is Jordan Poole, another Warrior. Poole started out this preseason, he going nuts. He went nuts to start the preseason. Gave the Lakers the work a couple times. Was giving other teams the work. Step backs, pull up threes. Didn't finish the preseason on the highest note for the last couple games, but he was still phenomenal. The body of work told the story. Made like 19 points a game for Jordan Poole. I mean, had a couple 30-point games, including the first game of the preseason for him. So I mean, they're going to need him without Clay, and I think his confidence level's through the roof right now, and they need all of the shooting they can have to free up Steph around the perimeter in Golden State. So, another player in the first team, Zach. A lot of guards in the first team. I'm not doing positions, obviously. Zach LaVine was, another guy that averaged around 23, 24 points a game in the preseason. 51% from the field, 50% from three, and just, we all know how scary Chicago looks. Now, we got to hold our horses. We can't just announce them as the Eastern Conference champions yet, or even announce them as a for sure playoff team. You can't do that, but they look good. I love Caruso running with them dogs. Lonzo looks great. Vucevic struggled a bit during the preseason, but he's going to be fine. They're going to need him if they get to the playoffs. And of course, Zach was just phenomenal. He's going to get so many easy buckets playing with those guys and just running the floor. Last two players in the first team, and my Knicks fans, no Knicks fans like me for some reason, but give respect to Julius Randle. I have no problems with the Knicks. Randle, fantastic into the preseason for him. He averaged about 23 and 10 throughout the preseason on good efficiency. Game winner. And his last game of the preseason against the Wizards just continues to just show confidence. And I really want to see him bounce back because he had a rough playoffs after having a great regular season. He can play defense, can rebound the ball at an extreme rate. I mean, giving you 10 rebounds a game at a power forward position, which in this day and age isn't that common anymore. It used to be, but not anymore. So Randle, kind of a throwback player. And I love his game. I love the gritty Knicks team that they have right now, and I hope they can have playoff success. The NBA is better when the Knicks, the Lakers are doing good. It is what it is. And the last player on this first team, that means it's going to be the last player to make my list. Okay? Between all these great players, and the only one to make the list is this guy, Tyler Herro. Tyler Herro was fantastic in the preseason. Tyler Herro, he didn't play that many minutes, and he came off the bench a couple times, but he was just hitting everything. I mean, he was just so efficient. 51% from the field, 45% from three, 22 points a game, and Miami looks scary. I mean, I told my friend this the other day, they are the best built team in the Eastern Conference in terms of everybody's fit, personality-wise, and playing style. They are the best fit in terms of the collective on Miami. You could argue a tree. They are. And Tyler Herro's improvement, Duncan Robinson's improvement, it's just going to make them even better. Now, for these guys, Brogdon had a great preseason, shot the ball well, averaged a lot of points, had a great game, a 30-point game at some point in the preseason. He was great. Nikola Jokic was fantastic as well. I mean, getting close to triple-double numbers in the preseason, and his Nuggets team by Michael Porter Jr. showed in the first couple games of the preseason just how much he was worth that contract that they gave him. He shot the ball well and looked scary. Just that 6'10" guy out there shooting threes is always a scary sight. But those guys are all honorable mentions. So we get to the MVP. It's going to be one of the guys already seen here. Now the MVP, it took me a while to kind of come to this decision on who was the MVP of the preseason. And I'm going to give it to Tyler Herro. Now you're going to be like, what? Are you kidding me? Steph averaged more points. Randle played better. He hit the game winner. I'm giving it to Tyler Herro for, one, he was efficient. Two, the tough shots that he made. And three, is the fact that he played all 5 games for the Heat. And outside of Jordan Poole, he was the only other player on this list that played that many games. So the fact that each game is an opportunity for you to go 5 for 20 and ruin your percentages. The fact that he played 5 games and stayed efficient and stayed aggressive through every single one of those games, coming off the bench on a couple of them, you're my MVP for the preseason. And again, this list is up for debate. You can argue, you can throw anything in the comments, you can tweet at me at SkyMav6. Instagram's coming soon. But appreciate you guys for sticking by and watching this. The NBA season is going to be ridiculous this year. I can't wait to bring out content all year long for this great season. We all miss basketball. We miss it being like it was before. Appreciate you guys. Like, subscribe. SkyMav out.